Okay, round one about to begin. Our hand is okay, we don't have blue mana, but I think we can keep this. If we top deck an island in the first 2 turns, that would be fairly fantastic. It would give us a turn 4 Willforged Golem, which would be and it is just that easy, people. Quite often people ask me how easy is it, and I just respond with it's just that easy. Like, you just have to think about what you want from the universe, and the universe provides it to you. So yeah, we've got a pretty sweet curve now. Our opponent could have raised the alarm here, which we are well set up to fight. Okay, that's pretty good. That is even better for activating the Willforged Golem. So if we play Coral Barrier next turn, yeah, then it's turn 4 we can get. Yep, he does have raised the alarm. We definitely are going to have the shields up for dealing with that card. Unfortunately, it does turn on Triplicate Spirits, but luckily we have this Netcaster Spider to handle that bad boy. Alright, let's just get the Coral Barrier down. We can start picking away at him with the Squid token. And if Triplicate Spirits comes down now, we can get Spider down. If it doesn't, we can just play Willforged Golem. Tapping 2 of our creatures. Going to combat. Going to the end phase. Good. Okay, so we can attack with the Squid and then make the Willforged Golem. That seems fairly reasonable. Well, then we take a fair bit of damage if he has a removal spell for the Golem, Reprisal, etc. Yeah, I think I'll just leave up the Coral Barrier as a blocker. I don't think the 1 damage is worth the potential 4 damage we would take if he has Reprisal. Is it Reprisal? Pillar of Light, I think is what I'm thinking of. The exile target creature with toughness 4 or greater. It's an instant though, so he could have done end of turn, so our Willforged Golem may live to see an attack step. Okay, so I think I just want to start looting here, really. We don't have any gas in hand. If we attack, we trade with the Guard and the Soldier, which is not very exciting at all. We can play the Meteorite to take out a Soldier, and then we can attack, but that's also not super exciting. I think I'm just going to attack with the Island Walker and then loot. Our opponent missed a land drop, I believe, and is therefore on 5 spells, which is a lot. Maybe some double blue ones. Okay, well, if there's double blue ones, we can see them come down now. Nimbus of the Isles. Time for the Netcaster Spider to do some work. If we could draw Burning Anger here, that would be insane. Is Elvish Mystic better than a land? It's better than that land. So if we play the Meteorite, 5, that leaves us 2 mana, so we can't Meteorite Netcaster, so let's just get the Spider down. I don't think the Mystic does anything. I think I'd rather just loot it away, or have the option to loot it away. Unfortunately, we don't get to loot this turn. Next turn we can do a main phase loot. But yeah, Burning Anger on the Willforged Golem will be a big game if we... Whoa, okay. Let's read this card. Reveal a non-legendary creature card. I think I'm just going to kill that with Meteorite. I don't think it's a good card by any means, but I don't want to. Like, you can't just put that in your deck, right? Like, it's got to be doing something. Ooh. Ooh, very spicy. Since we've drawn the Ingenuity, I'm going to play out our land and the Mystic this turn, just so we have access to as much mana as we can possibly have next turn. He could have Ephemeral Shields here for the Polymorphous, which would be fine. I think if you have Ephemeral Shields, you probably attack with your Nimbus, though, to get rid of our Netcaster Spider. Yeah, so if we play Forest Mystic, next turn we'll untap with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mana, so we'll have 4 mana after Ingenuity. So we can Ingenuity, then if we don't draw anything we want to cast right away, we can loot. Mass Calcify is a consideration here, but the difference between having a Mystic on the board after Mass Calcify is, and like just playing that now, is not that it's not too exciting, so I'll just play it out. And let's pass. Squid is doing some solid work. Coral Barrier, prevent damage, does the damage. Look at this card. It is the Swiss Army knife of walls. The Nimbus is getting in now. Would not be super surprised to see Ephemeral Shields here. Although, it's a bit weird that he didn't attack last turn and wants to trade this turn. Now that could mean Mass Calcify. He was just trying to, like, since he thinks the Nimbus is, since he knows the Nimbus is going to die anyway, he was just trying to, get rid of it. Ooh, is this a Seraph? Of the Masses? Ah, Triplicate Spirits. Ah, okay, so you just wanted to get that out of the way before the Spirits comes down. Yeah, that's problematic. Let's try and find our Hornet Queen. Hornet Queen pure from reality. Kurd Chieftain. Now that is a strong magic card. So I think we've got 9 mana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Fantastic. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Target creature +2/+2. Alright, and we can attack with definitely Squid, definitely Willforged Golem. I really think we need to attack with Research Assistant. Let's just send those two. And then if he's no blocks, we can just Ingenuity. We'll just Ingenuity now while he's tapped out so we can make a land drop. Land drops are pretty good with the Chieftain out. And we find the Hornet Queen. Fantastic. This is all looking quite good. We've also got Scavenger, which has 1, 2, 3 creatures in the bin at the moment. It's unfortunate when you play the Scavenger in these white matchups that Triplicate Spirits and Raise the Alarm both don't add to the creature count. So next turn we can do another attack with the Chieftain. There's Wall of Frost out there, which is somewhat problematic. We have to be careful with our attack though, because we don't really want to have to pump next turn because we have the Hornet Queen, so we just want to get that down. Encrust. Okay. I don't know if he didn't just want to encrust the Chieftain, since then we can't use the pump from the Chieftain. I feel like that might have been better. So if we attack now with the chieftain, he just blocks with the wall, so we'll just attack with a squid and play pawn or queen. Oh, oppressive raise, okay. Sure, that works. Down to 1 card in hand. So we can start just pumping the squid once we get our shields up. We can play another squid here. It's going to be a lot of the Midnight Guard triggers. I should have always used this a long time ago. Always yield. So opponent's got 1 card in hand, so we're hoping that card isn't Mass Calcify and then they top deck a land. And the fact that they were using their Cross and Oppressive Raise and stuff, sort of. So that's 7, so they didn't Mass Calcify, so that's fantastic for us, for the home team. So using this costs 8 now. We can probably just attack with... We're on 17. Let's just attack with everything. By everything, I mean the evasive everything. If he blocks like that, we'll just... Yeah, that seems a bit... That seems much better. Much better. So we'll just pump one of the flyers. Get an extra bit of damage and it lives. And we will pass. If Mass Calcify does come down as well, Undergrow Scavenger will be a large threat. Okay, we got there. So yeah, Ornate Queen. Very, very strong magic card. Kurd Chieftain, also really strong. And yeah, Coral Barrier doing work. So our opponent was the White Weenie deck, which with all the Coral Barriers and Research Assistance, we're pretty well set up to fight. I'll bring in at least 1 Naturalize, just because he did have Encrust and Oppressive Raise. Is there anything else we want? Not particularly. Oh, there were also a lot of flyers with the Triplicate Spirits, but I don't know what more we can do about the flyers, unfortunately. So as far as cards to cut, Undergrow Scavenger is not very good in this matchup. As we mentioned about how they've got a lot of token makers, which means the graveyard doesn't get very full. Is there something else that I would like to have access to? I think I'm pretty fine with this. I'm pretty close to invasive species. Or even the Pretender, like the game went pretty late, although that's not really what his deck wants to do. His deck wants to end the game early, and the fact that it went late was definitely not part of his plan. Although we do make the game go late, so maybe maybe the Pretender's good. We got a lot of mana out that game. I definitely want to try that card. It seems like it'd be pretty fun in this sort of deck. Well, this hand's pretty far from keepable. So we will mulligan. Oh, we will mulligan. Ah, fantastic. Let's go to 5. And we'll keep that. If we can find a red source reasonably fast, then this hand's pretty good. If we can get either of these out quickly, then this hand's actually quite good. Ooh. Oh dear. That is very strong. It is possibly the best turn 2 play a white deck can make. Especially helps in like long drawn out games when you can activate it more than once. Grind clock. Okay. That's interesting. I imagine he boarded that in since we are a slower deck. Forest. Research assistant. Actually, mountain would have been a better draw there. I should have said mountain. That was a miss goal. So we're very live to drawing either mountain or forest this turn. I wanted to sack Wall of Mulch, but at the moment it's holding off the Dauntless River Marshal, which is quite necessary. So I think I'm just going to leave it there. I don't know exactly how long Grind Clock takes to kill you. I remember when it was in Scars of Mirrodin, or whichever set it was in originally, I did briefly read an article about the correct amount of times to activate this. I think it was like, you put like 5 to 7 counters on and then start going to town, which is pretty slow. Also, we brought out the Undergrowth Scavenger, which is, we got outplayed there. It'd be fantastic if our opponent attacked and then tried to use the trick on our Wall of Mulch so we could sack it, and then, yeah, I mean, get insane value would be nice. If we draw a blank, actually, it doesn't need to be forest because we've got the second green. So any land lets us Charging Rhino, which is a big game. If we draw a blank, which would be like, I guess, a more expensive spell, we can Research Assistant. Opponent facing some very difficult decisions on the other side of the table. So we might even want the second Naturalize to stop the Grind Clock action. That's, I think, 3 targets we've seen so far in Oppressive Raise, Encrust, Grind Clock. Could potentially be even more. Alright, Heliod's Pilgrim. So we get to see if there is more. I think I'm going to sack this wall end of turn, just to, Marked by Honor. Yeah, wall's not going to do anything against Marked by Honor. Just to try and maximise our chances of getting the Rhino down. And do we get there? We do not get there. Ugh. We can't block anything with Marked by Honor anyway. This second Research Assistant is not doing us a lot of favours. So dealing with the 5/4 Vigilance, we can try and trade with the Charging Rhino. He forgot to put a counter on his Grind Clock. Ah, Chasm Skulker. That's a real card. Missing a land drop, I believe. Not attacking with the Pilgrim. Ah, yes. Main phase is that one. Now that is a real magic card if we can ever cast it. Unfortunately, we're not in position at the moment to do that, but we've got a couple of turns to be able to chuck on the Rhino and get rid of the Skulk before it gets massive. We get Ingenuity next turn as well. So we still can't Marked by Honor, which is fantastic for us. If we could just... okay, we can't naturally draw it. Let's dig for the mountain. Dissipate. Oh dear. Oh dear. Wow, we really would have liked that to resolve. I suppose it means that Burning Anger's not getting dissipated. Also, the longer we wait on the Chasm Skulker, the more shitty little 1/1s he amasses. Which aren't really that shitty since they're unblockable and are definitely going to be a pain to deal with. We can also, like, once we get the Chieftain down, we can pump our thing that has Burning Anger on it. Lingering Souls, fantastic. Not Lingering, Triplicate Spirits. Or essentially Lingering Souls. Okay. Coral Barrier. We are, starting to get to the stage where our Mulligan 5 is costing us. So the Naturalize kills the Grind Clock, not that that's particularly worrisome at the moment, but it is something. Does Coral Barrier really do anything on this board? It's some chumps. I think Coral Barrier is the least necessary card here. Let's just take out Grind Clock. Actually, he should activate Grind Clock and we can take it out in response. Although he could also forget. Put a charge count on it. Actually, I don't even care about Grind Clock. I'm just gonna. Oh, he's starting to mill. Okay. Well, the Meteorite would have been pretty good. So if we natural draw the Mountain this turn, we can take out the Chasm Skulker. But if not, then we're in an awkward situation. I mean, we're already in an awkward situation with the Triplicate Spirits crushing in. Surprised I didn't mark by one of that. Blue Parrot, okay. Oh dear, I'm pretty close to just scooping this one up. Yeah, like this has got flying now. He's going to untap, hit us for 9. Yeah, we're done here. I'm going to bring in another Naturalized because we saw 2 more targets. That's 4 targets in total. I'm going to take out the other Scavenger. And let's try again. So that wasn't Boulder 5. And still, if we'd found the red source, we could definitely have run away with that game, but was not to be. Hopefully we have a more reasonable 7 this time. Or even 6. Okay, let's play first. And let's keep this hand. Very nice hand, really. Assuming these Wayfinders can find some land, we should be able to get a turn 4 Chieftain, which is that graphical bug. Turn 4 Chieftain, which is quite strong. As well as the Wayfinders themselves just beating down severely. Alright. That was a lot of lands, unfortunately, to hit. We lose our Agent Silverback, which is definitely a bit of a blow, but we shall persevere. So if we draw another land this turn, I'll just play the Coral Barrier, I think, but if we don't, I'll play the Wayfinder to try and ensure that we have Chieftain on turn 4. Okay, we get the other land, so I am able to barrier. I will choose to not attack this turn. So the Chieftain's going to come down. We've got 2 turns to draw a land to be able to attack with it straight away. Midnight Guard, sure. Okay, we draw a land to be able to attack with it right away. This is all shaping up quite nicely. We get to sneak this in under Dissipate. He could obviously have Oppressive Raves or Encrust, but luckily we have the Peel from Reality to not be phased by those particular magical cards. If we do attack and he double blocks, then we have to pump. Then if he has Devouring Light, that is a big blowout, because then we can't peel. Just wondering if it's worth like holding back the Curd Chieftain for a while to play around that particular uncommon. We will see what happens when we untap. Because yeah, we could just like attack with the squid and pump the squid, which is less damage, but we also get blown out less. We could just not even pump and play the Rhino, that seems fine. Yeah, I'm not going to attack with the Chieftain here. Oh, okay. Oh, fantastic. That seems indicative of our opponent being on the nothing. Let's walk into the islands and get the Rhino down. The man that can be blocked by no more than one creature. Okay. Encrust. Cool. Even have the Naturalize. Let's attack with these two. It'd be cool if we had a bit more mana and we could like attack with the Wayfinder and he like blocks and then we Naturalize and pump it. That'd be pretty funny. Obviously the nuts would be here if he like blocks and then tries to pump his guy. Just takes the 5. I think I'm probably just going to encrust to Naturalize the Encrust. I'll do it now to play around Dissipate. And let's get the Research Assistant down so we can start looting, I think. Let's just first get rid of the Naturalize, get rid of the Encrust. Playing around Mana Leak superbly. And actually I'm just going to hold up Peel from Reality. I think we're ahead enough here that we can afford to play fairly safely. This is coming down fast. Marked by Honor. Fantastic. Okay, let's just... Actually, I would like to kill this. Yeah, I'm gonna double block this. I could just like block with Coral Barrier and then peel Coral Barrier and the Midnight Guard, but getting to take out his Dauntless River on Escort is a pretty big game. Do I want to just end of turn peel? Let's just reuse Wayfinder. Yeah, let's just do that. So it would appear that we are fairly ahead now. Alright, we get there. So, yeah, that match went pretty well. Pretty happy with how we built the deck, pretty happy with how we boarded. Seemed to run fairly smoothly. Game 2 was a bit of a hiccup, which was partially because we multiplied and partially because our mana base is not as good as we would have liked. But, yeah, So I'll see you back here for round 2.